Frank Whitman died this morning. He was 71 years old. No big headlines, no breaking news, no reporters outside his house. Just a quiet passing, in a quiet bed, in a quiet home. His daughter Emily found him when she came by to bring him his favorite blueberry muffins. She let herself in with the spare key he'd insisted she keep just in case. When he didn't answer her call, she knew. Before she even reached the bedroom, she knew. And so the world turned on. Cars moved down the street. Birds sang in the trees. Someone laughed too loudly outside. And inside, Emily sat by her father's side and held his now cold hand. Frank wasn't famous. He didn't write books or run companies. He never made the news, never went viral, never climbed mountains or won medals. But if you lived on Oak Ridge Avenue, you knew Frank. He was the one who shoveled his neighbor's sidewalks without being asked, the one who always remembered your dog's name, the one who left tomatoes on your porch from his backyard garden each summer. And yet this morning, as the world barely paused, there was a deep ache in the hearts of those who did know him. Because losing someone like Frank doesn't come with noise. It comes with silence. But there are things to learn from the way Frank lived, things we often ignore, things we don't talk about until it's too late. Lesson 1. Your life matters, even if the world doesn't see it. Frank never chased success the way some people define it. He didn't have social media, didn't care much for recognition, but he was rich in something most people don't value until the end: presence. He showed up for people, every time. His granddaughter's piano recital, the neighborhood cleanup day, his wife's chemotherapy sessions, even long after she passed. He didn't talk about loyalty. He was loyal, quietly, faithfully. Frank reminded us that a good life isn't loud. It's consistent. Lesson 2. Love is shown in the small things. He made tea for his wife every morning for 38 years. After she died, he still made it for a while. Out of habit, out of memory, out of love. His house was full of small kindnesses. Sticky notes on the fridge with jokes for himself. Books with underlined passages that had once made him smile. A drawer full of cards he never threw away. Birthday wishes, love notes, scribbles from his grandchildren. He didn't write poems, but his life was one. Lesson 3. We wait too long to say what matters. At his small service that afternoon, people began sharing stories. His neighbor broke down halfway through telling how Frank once fixed her broken fence, in the rain, while she was going through a divorce. He didn't even ask, she said. He just showed up. His grandson whispered, I should have called more. His daughter said, he was my anchor and I never told him that. We hold in so much, thinking there's more time. Then one morning, time runs out, and the words stay behind, aching for a place to go. Lesson 4. You are building your legacy every single day, in the way you greet a stranger, how you handle stress, how you treat the ones closest to you. Frank left no inheritance, no trust fund. But when word spread about his passing, people showed up. A boy from down the block brought a bouquet of wildflowers. He taught me how to ride a bike, the boy said, and he said falling is just part of it. That was Frank's way, teaching through actions. And his legacy? It lived in the dozens of small kindnesses people now remembered, things he likely forgot, but they didn't. Lesson 5. We always think we have more time. Just last week, Frank had told Emily he wanted to visit the old train museum they used to go to when she was little. Maybe next weekend, she'd said, distracted. He nodded. No rush. There's always a rush. We just don't see it. Tomorrow isn't promised. Not at 30, not at 71. Frank's life was a mirror, quietly held up to everyone who knew him. It asked simple but urgent questions. Are you present? Are you kind? Are you listening to your loved ones, really listening? Do you make people feel important or just occupied? He wasn't perfect. He lost his temper sometimes. He hated wasting food and could get grumpy when someone left lights on. But he apologized when it mattered. He laughed easily. He made mistakes, then made amends. He lived with his feet on the ground and his heart wide open. And so as the sun set on the day he died, the people who loved him gathered in his backyard, where the tomato plants were starting to bloom again. They shared food, stories, tears, laughter. They remembered him not with grandeur, but with gratitude, because Frank didn't just leave behind memories. He left behind an example that a life well lived doesn't have to be loud. It has to be felt. So tonight, if you remember anything, remember this. A 71-year-old man died this morning, and in doing so, he reminded us how to live.